Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, July 18th. Retail sales data is out this morning at 8:30, coming out worse than expectations. So we are seeing a small retail sales slump with the month-over-month for June coming in at 0.2 versus 0.5% expected, down from 0.5% in May. The core retail sales was 0.2 versus 0.3% expected, down from 0.3% in May. The year-over-year reading for regular retail sales came in at 1.49, 1.6 expected, down from 1.96 in May. So pretty decent slump in the retail sales, sparking possible recession fears. We are seeing the markets down just a tad this morning. The S&P currently down by 0.1%. NASDAQ last I checked was down 0.2, might have changed. Yeah, only down 0.1% now. The Dow Jones down 0.07, and finally the Russell 2000 currently down, actually flat, down 0.01%. So not much change for the Russell, but everything else down a little bit. Names I'm watching today, it's going to be Tesla at the 290 level, Google at the 125 level, Microsoft at the 345 level, and Meta trading at the 310 level. Welcome, Cameron. What a great day to be at Palantard. Let's see Palantir, how they're performing. Yeah, $18 today, up from $16.27 just a couple days ago. Oh man, I don't know how y'all deal with that kind of beta. What do I think of General Motors? Long term, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think that the traditional ICE business is going to be very hard for them to kind of divulge and go full into electric vehicles, and GM has been the slowest in the transition to electric vehicles. I think if you're going to go with legacy auto, I would go with Ford rather than General Motors, but both of these gapped down really bad yesterday. Let's see, and then Tesla currently trading at that 290 level. So all the Tesla holders, including myself, doing pretty well right now. I'm up, I think, 100% on the shares that I own. But yeah, these are the names I'm watching. Again, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, and Meta today. All right, Microsoft coming into the demand zone at the moment. I like to wait until it's about in the middle, so 344 would be nice for a wait. Let's check on Google. So for Tesla, I have this one. I think it's going to go down. Google and Microsoft could go either way. Let's see, Google trading at 124. Microsoft trading at 345.25. And Google right at the bottom of the demand zone here. So it looks like we could be selling off for Google. Puts might be okay. And then Meta should pivot around $310. And right now it's right in the middle of its range. Went just above it before pulling back here. So let's check on some Meta puts. I think they're pretty expensive last I checked. Yesterday they were really expensive. They're actually a lot cheaper today. All right, going for $230, $237 right now. Right in the middle of our range, with a low at 211, currently trading at 230, 240. So we risk about $30. Don't really know our upside just yet. A little bit too close to the top of my range for my liking, though. Could still work out, but let's look through here. Looks like Google ended up bouncing right on the bottom. Microsoft trading at 350, 345, so this one's not really changing much. And Tesla down at 288, so we lost that opportunity. All right, so it looks like Meta right now is the best of the opportunities. Trading at 245, low at 209, 210. So we risk about 35-ish for this trade. That's fallen a little bit too quickly. Yeah, these are trading at 257 now. Okay. So let's check Google. Again, Google was one of the ones that could have gone either way. It looks like the markets are coming down pretty rough right now. Q's is down 0.4%, so that is kind of dragging everything with it. Netflix trading at 450.2, 450.3. That one could be another pivot too. I wasn't really looking into that one though. All right, Microsoft coming down pretty nicely, so we could get in on some calls. Meta got outside of that range just now. Yeah, Tesla was the trade to take this morning. Right in that supply. Dropped immediately. Amazon fallen. Down 1.5%. Tesla down 0.9. All right, so I think the best opportunity right now is looking like Microsoft calls. We are betting against the market, so that might not work too well for us, but we will cap our losses with the demand zone to hopefully, they're not too bad. Let's see. Going with the 350 call, they're going for 200 right now. Lowest that they went this morning was down at 185, 186, 182. So the cheaper we can get this, obviously, the better. All right, they're going for 195. So I think I'm willing to take the risk here. So I got one of these at 192. Dropped it to 178 already. Almost at the bottom of our range. I think it was 193 was my entry, if I saw that right. Did not type that right though. So hopefully we get the bounce out of this level back to maybe 346 would be nice. Let's see, the filled order was at 192 actually. Oh, we're not at the bottom of a range like I thought. Actually, much further from it. Yeah, market's coming down pretty rough with this one. I'm gonna add another position, one more at 160 hopefully. Yeah, 160 entry, and we'll cut losses right at the bottom. All right, so now we have two of this position, bouncing right in the bottom of a range. Trading for 176, 180 now. Nice little recovery. So now our average cost 163, 193. Sorry, 160, 193. 353 for two, 176. Good morning, Peter. Can't bet against Papa Zuck. Are you going to be betting for him to beat Elon Musk? Is that fight even still on, I wonder? All right, so my average entry again is at 176 for these contracts, slightly above where we're trading. Coming back down to the bottom of a range. And yeah, that low is right at 343. Currently at 343.45. I'm back to break even here. And back down. Hopefully we don't chop around at this level, and that would be probably the most likely thing to happen for me. Yeah, market's down pretty rough, but flattening out with Q's down 0.4% right now. Amazon being down the worst, 1%. Google down 0.86. Nvidia down 0.7 at 460 almost. Tesla still at 289, interesting enough. Not really pulling back too much. Okay, still waiting on these dang contracts. I swear, as soon as I open trades, it's when the markets decide to chop around and trade flat. Gotta love it. All right, back to the bottom of the range. These are trading for 146, 147. Haven't broke through the range just yet, but we are very, very close. Hedging on it. All right. All right, sold those at 147. Cut losses on the Microsoft 350 call at 147. Original entry again was 176. So that one was about $60 loss. But let's try to find another play. Again, still got 3 other plays I'm looking for. Tesla trading down under 290, currently at 288.79. Not quite as close to the range as I'd like here. Google, maybe if it comes back into range, we can take a put. Again, that was one of the ones that could go either way. Microsoft was also one of the ones that could go either way, so we could maybe hop in some puts. And then Meta was the other trade, but this one's not close to the range that we need it. Still a little bit outside of it. That's what happened to you the other day. Yeah. Markets love chopping around as soon as I open trades. It's the greatest feeling to have to bag hold a trade forever, and then you lose all the theta if you're trading the weeklies. Super frustrating. Okay. Let's see if Meta was a bearish trade. Yeah, Meta is a bearish trade under 310. Ideally, I'd like it maybe 310.50 or close to 311. This is the puts that we originally looked for this morning. On the right over here. So it looks like Meta's the next trade to take. Either Meta or maybe Microsoft to the downside. We could add that put to the watch list too down here. We can go with maybe 340 strike price for a put. Currently going for 245, up from 150 this morning. And Meta's not where we need it for that put. Tesla's pretty close here too. Ideally, we can enter around 291. Google, man, that Google trade would have worked beautifully. Did not open that nearly in time. Too quick for me. Yeah, trades right now, Microsoft to the downside, Tesla to the downside, and then Meta to the downside are the closest ones to our supplies. Looks like Tesla might have got rejected at that 288.92 level. Coming from yesterday, early market bottom before pivot to the downside. Surprised that Microsoft's still kind of holding that 343 level right now, with the rest of the market kind of tanking down. Looks like I spoke too soon. Now 342.68. Q's down 0.67% now, so getting to be a pretty red day. We're trading almost at the 380 level. I know there's a lot of bears at 380 with the puts 23,000 in volume, only 6,000 for calls, so they're 4 times as much volume for the 380 puts. The open interest is about almost more than twice as high. So under 380 you should get a decent sell-off, but right now we are catching some support at that level. Let's see if there's any other possible pivots. Maybe to the upside with the markets falling, and maybe Q's finding that 380 support. Amazon's trading all the way down to 131. It's not really much drop in volume until you get all the way down to 128. So they're pretty bearish on the Amazon today. Decent drop in volume at 123 to 122 on Google. We haven't seen these levels in at least a couple of days, and the last time we did see these levels, we were squeezing to the upside. You might have some support from here at this 123.34 level from this high. And let's see, draw this out. Maybe using the bottom of that day as a support. It's a pretty wide gap. The low at 122 and change, the high of that at 123.30. Currently trading at 123.45. Microsoft all the way down to 342.28, down pretty heavy from that 343 level. And Google trying to enter that range down here. Meta's getting back close to the range, but chopping around at 308 and 310 right now. Good morning. Yeah, SPY is still holding up with Qs being down as heavy as it is, 0.5%, while SPY is still up by 0.07. It looks like the Dow Jones is up 0.5%, so that's helping it out, balancing out the Qs being down 0.5%. And then IWM, the Russell 2000, currently up by 1.1%. So you're seeing a rotation out of the big tech names into your industrials, your staples, the laggards for the year with small caps. That 450 level is still pretty sticky on Netflix right now. Holding just barely above it. Let me extend this to the right. There we go. I think Netflix was one that could have gone either way based on the options chain, if I remember. Yeah. 450 to 455. There's a drop of about 60% of volume or open interest. There's actually not a drop in open interest for the puts though. So if we can get it to the bottom of this zone, then we might take a put. Microsoft trying to get its way back into the 343s. Banking sector, yeah, Bank of America had earnings today. They dipped initially on their earnings and went right back up to 30.5, up 3.6% today. So it's probably money coming out of the big names and into banks. I wonder how KRE is doing with that. KRE is up 3.16. I think that could be some trouble. With interest rates as high as they are, the 10-year did drop from 4 to 3.7, so that could kind of help them out. But relatively, I think interest rates are still pretty high. Yeah, they're right about in the middle of the range that they've been in for the 10-year at least. Getting a small recovery for Qs, only down 0.45% now. Was down 0.67%. It's a nice little recovery, mainly out of Netflix, it's looking like. Here we go with Microsoft. Puts, the 340 puts going for 215 right now, right in the middle of our range. Qs is down only 0.37%, so we are seeing a decent recovery. Going for 223 for the 340 puts right now. And again, right in the middle of the range that we need it. Keep on watching this one. Going for 219. They were down to 215 just now. Bearish on the RSI at 36, so looking pretty weak. It did go oversold before this bounce up. I'm liking these contracts at the 215. If we can snag them at that price. I think I'll buy just one for now. At 220. 219. The bid ask on these is kind of wide. Not liking that. Now they're at 215, 217. With a high in at 268 when they're trading at 342.17. Let's see, and they got in this range. Looks Looks like 930 to 935 at about 190-ish. All right, up slightly on the contract so far, 225. Getting rejected so far in this range. If we can get back out of it, these should go for about 245. I'm going for 231 now. Should have got two of them, but that's okay. Back down to 343, right at that bottom of the support level. Breaking through it right now. Contracts aren't changing hardly at all. Still between 230 and 235. Now the bid ask is getting a little bit closer. It's good. Should be more volume coming in here. All right, outside of the range again. These are going for 240. It'd be nice if we could get that low down there at 342, but I'm not sure if we will. I'm just about 70 cents off of it right now. Dipped right under the range and went right back into it. Q's still bearish, down 0.4%, so momentum on tech stocks should bring this down, but it's already down 0.75. It's in the middle between all the big tech names, with the worst Amazon down 1.2, the best Netflix up 1.1. Just got to get it under that 343 level again, back outside of this gray box. Apple. What am I trading right now? Trading Microsoft. Apple trading at 193.25. Let's see. Not really moving too much. This is down the least of all the big tech names. Trading so far between 194 at the top and 192, 193. Probably just going to chop around there. But yeah, right now trading Microsoft with these puts, 340 puts. Looks like we just went under 343 and went right back up. So that 343 level is proven to be a little bit tricky here. The low here is at 342.17, which is what I would like to sell it at. Doesn't mean we can sell it there though. Momentum is still bearish, trading at 34 for the RSI. I'm kind of flattening out at that 343 level for right now. I wonder what the delta for this is. If it drops another dollar, the delta will be 36, so that would put these contracts at about 260, 265 maybe. Which is where they were right before bounce at 342.17. Alright, looks like we're catching the support at the bottom of this gray box. And that's not what I need. Either that or we've just found ourselves a tighter range between 343 and 340. I really hope we don't trade in the 30-cent range. It's kind of what it's looking like right now, though. RSI just kind of flattening at 30, meaning that it's still weak but very flat. back and forth. I'm at a long or a short for Microsoft, currently in a put, so a short position. Right now it's gaining support under that 343 level, but also gaining resistance just above it at 343.40. I'm going back to my break even on these at 219. Just above that resistance now and outside of the range above 343.40. Still gonna hang in there for this put. But it does look like it might start to go against me. 40 on the RSI up from 30. If you go above 50, that'll turn it bullish. They're really not dropping the contracts that much though, even with this small rise. Trading at 206. Even if I wanted to double down, they're not that much cheaper at 211 for the ask. Thank you, Peter. All right, now these are going for 200. $197, $196, $193 for the ask. They're getting cheap. But it does look like a decent size reversal coming in here. Looks like Q's is reversing slightly, down only 0.34%. Trading at the 381 level right now. Microsoft pulling back just from that 344. Oh wow, that was a quick pullback there. I'm not sure if it'll be long-lived or not, but again, we're gonna have support at 343, still trading 50 cents above it. And these went all the way down to 190, I think was the lowest value I saw on them. Fed member speaking at 10 a.m. Yes, there should be 2 Fed members speaking at 10. At 10 a.m. you have, well, it's 10:20 now, so they should be maybe finishing up their speeches. Fed Gibson testifying in front of Congress, and Fed Chair Barr, Vice Chair Barr, I should say, giving a speech as well. I don't see any news on it though. All right, here goes Microsoft again with a 343 level. So we'll see if it holds support or if it breaks on through down to 342 would be nice. These contracts are decaying a little bit. They were trading for like 227 at these price levels. Now down to 225-ish. All right, back outside of our box, just barely. Actually, I think they decayed like 10 cents in value. I think these were trading for 235, 236. Now they're 226. Either that or there's just not a lot of demand. Yeah, demand is definitely slowing down. Look at the volume here on the bottom, blue. Don't see nearly as much, so implied volatility for the options likely dropped. Vega bringing down the contract value. I'm just right at the bottom of that box, catching some supports. Can't believe they dropped the contract value as much as they did. Let's see, that was 220, 230 at the high. Somebody was able to get in at 235. I don't think I ever saw that number. Decent block of them was bought at 193, so they got in way cheaper. Okay, still at the bottom of the box, man. Gotta love the flat trading. Q's down 0.45 now, so that one is slipping a bit more. Tesla's all the way down at 287, down from 290 this morning. Amazon looks like it's recovering a tad, up from 131 to 132. Google almost at 124. Looks like Nvidia is pretty flat at 460. Let's check through these. Google coming back into the range to maybe buy a call. Meta almost back into the range to buy a put. Not quite. Ooh, they just dropped the bid-ask spread. Okay, that should juice up these premiums. Nope. Getting bought close to the lows. Previous low at, let's see, 342.63 and then 342.17. Wealthy Risings, welcome ABF. There's just no demand for these puts. Can't blame them when it's just trading flat for an hour. So now we gotta watch out above 343.50 up to maybe 344.20. So you got about $1 of upside risk, dollar and change on the downside, and actually about $1 in downside risk too. But yeah, it looks like more often than not, this is catching some support. Just under our box at 342.50 to 343. All right, let's check through the watch list, see if there's any other opportunities. Google may be bouncing at this 123.50 level. Microsoft still chalking around. Meta back into the range here. Okay. We could look into a Meta trade. Maybe going with a 340 put. Going for 210, the lows in at 190. Recent lows, I should say, and 268 high. Oh, we got the wrong. There we go. That's 305 is what we needed for Meta. There we go. That's better. Microsoft still trying to chop around about 60 cents back and forth. Meta still has about 50 cents of upside I want till I take a short. All right, these are going for 192, down from 219. $190 now. So we can buy them at a steep discount. If we assume the pivot back to the downside. Q's is still down 0.5%, so still bearish there. Now going for 199. Up from 190. So yeah, I think this one's just going to keep on chopping back and forth, and hopefully we can crack that 343 low and go down to 342. But right now, just a bunch of choppiness in the market. All right, the lowest that these have gone was down at 185, currently at 194. It looks like we're coming into some resistance. Again, at those previous highs at 344.20, couldn't quite make it up there at 344, acting as a resistance right now. I'll pay 190 to 195, but I don't want to pay 200 plus on these. Let's see, the high on these contracts was up at 230. 268 was a very peak when I was trading at 342. All right, they're going for 193 now, so let's get another one. 193. So now we got 193 and 219. For an average cost of 206 now. So now we go back to the bottom of our range here. These should go for about 230. That'll make us about 50 in profit. Got to come down about 60 cents from right here. But yeah, this one definitely doesn't have much speed to it. That is for sure. Again, now my average cost is 206. Currently going for 188. And back to the top at 344. Okay. Well, 186 now. 188. See, I catching resistance right at 344 again. Hopefully we get the $2, or sorry, $1 drop to 343 and below. But I think it's moving a little bit too slow for that. Volume is slightly picking up here. Not too much, still very down from first 10-15 minutes. All right, we're right at that high from before, 344.20, and pulling back to 344. Crazy how hard it is to get a dollar move for Microsoft. Unless you're in the first like 15 minutes of the market. Then it's a cakewalk. 347 down to 342 in what, 20 minutes? All right, trading right under the 344 level, or right at it. It'd be nice if we get a red hammer candle here. Looks like there was a gap to fill that it did at 342.77, so that might be why we're getting support down there on the hourly chart. All right, breaking that high right now. 344.26. Pulling back just slightly on it. Back under 344 again. SPY looks like it's never going to stop. Yeah, SPY at all-time highs. Crazy, I know. Especially before the looming recession everyone's been talking about. Very crazy that it's trading at 450. Like, if you would have told me SPY would be trading at 450 in the middle of this year, wouldn't have believed you a bit. Definitely caught a lot of people by surprise. Still trying to head higher, 50 on the RSI, so we could be crossing over into the bulls. But still looking at this range all the way up to 345 and change. 345.20 it looks like. These are going for 172 now, 170. We'll probably see a pullback to 344 again. Seems to be the new support level right now. These ought to be about worth 200 if we pull back to 340, 330, down $1 from right now. So we might actually need it below the range to take profit. Ever so slowly trying to head higher. let's see, that high was 344.53, so basically 344.50. Volume is still low. Q seems to be recovering just a little bit. It was down 0.45, now only down 0.3. Meta's actually in the 310s now. So looking into that Meta put could be a good one. Currently at 210. $209. Okay. I like that one. At 209, hopefully we get filled. Don't think we did. No, we just missed the timing on that. Barely missed it. So I want to know if Microsoft goes above 345.10, that's out of the range of the upside, at or above. And then on Meta, what we were looking at, if we can maybe enter this trade, if we have a second shot at it. Looks like 311.67. Alright, I think I'll add just one more of these at 170. Of course they freaking raise the ask as soon as I try to open. Gotta love it. Alright, I'll pay 174. So now we got 3 on these. $193, $175, and $219 entries. $193, $174, and $219. So $586 for 3. Average price now $195. Just got below 344 again. Meta's looking really good. Yeah, that put. I really wish we had gotten into it. It was down at like 210 when I was looking at it. Now 224. Alright, now they're going for 184, so about a $30 loss so far. Pulling back to 343.85. Right under that low from the last 5-minute candle. Might have some support about 343.50. But yeah, hopefully we get the full dollar move down to 343 again. Alright, the Meta 305 put's looking good again. Down to 205, 207. Currently trading at 310.5. Again, we don't want it to go above 311.70, so that's about $1 of delta. And you should get about $1.25 to the downside at least, if it drops out of the range again. So we'll try to snag one of these for right now. 203, 202, that was a 345 or 305. And my entry was 205, I think. 205. So ideally we get Meta down to like 309.50. At or below. And then for Microsoft, I'd like to see it, I'd say 343 for right now. All right, so we got our level set. Just gonna wait on these trades to play out, and that'll be it for me, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 9:30. See everybody.